Hey y'all, it's Megan. If you are returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome aboard. So welcome to my filming room. We have officially gotten it cleaned and we are ready to start putting it together. This is the last room that we need to get put together, so everywhere else is pretty well organized and everything, but this room is still just kind of empty except for curio cabinet that has nothing in it. So eventually, hopefully sooner rather than later, there will be actual things in here. As you can see, there are no giant piles of crap in the middle of the floor anymore, so that's good. So we are moving in the right direction anyway. Today, I'm going to, it's not really story time. It's not really what it's like working at Disney. It's just kind of more funny things, Jungle Cruise stuff. I'm gonna talk about funny unload spiels. My battery is dying. BRB. Okay, so like I was saying before my battery really interrupted me, I'm going to talk about funny unload spiels today. And unload spiels are what the skipper would say at the end of the Jungle Cruise when you come back to dock and you are unloading, naturally. So as an example, some of the ones that are common and you may have probably heard them would be like, when we come back up, there's going to be two docks. There's going to be one on your left, one on your right. That's what we call a paradox. If you step out and you find your foot getting wet, please come back in with me. Try again on the other side. You have chosen the wrong one. Or my personal favorite unload spiel that's like commonly used. As you exit, please lower your head and watch your step. And if you do happen to miss your step and hit your head, please lower your voice. Watch your language. Disney's a family park. So after you say the watch your head and watch your step, and if you happen to miss your step and hit your head, lower your voice and watch your language. They say to watch your language because children are like sponges. They absorb everything. They are inexplicably always wet, and the longer you leave them out by themselves, the worse they smell. So that's one that is like a continuation of a common one. So you've probably heard that one, but here are three of my favorites from some of my friends while I was working at the Jungle Cruise that are maybe not as common. So one of the things that you say when you are unloading, or one of the options for what you can say when you're unloading, is you say, if you enjoyed your trip today on the world famous Jungle Cruise, my name is Skipper Meaghan, and if you did not enjoy your trip, then my name is completely irrelevant. Or you would throw in someone else's name, not one of your fellow skippers, something like that, just to, you know, as a final joke. But one of my friends, Skipper Steve, Metal Steve, he's awesome. This was back in 2012, so Maelstrom in the Norway Pavilion was still open. And I've mentioned it before, the cohesiveness of that ride was sometimes questionable. The ride didn't flow that great. And that's kind of what Steve was playing on when he would say this, but he would pull back up and he'd say, if you enjoyed your trip today on the world famous Jungle Cruise, my name was Skipper Steve. And if you did not enjoy your trip, then my name is Bjorn, and this has been the Maelstrom attraction in Norway's Pavilion in Epcot, and you didn't see jungle animals. You saw polar bears and Vikings and then an oil rig. And he would say it like that, like it was like, even I'm still confused about this. And that was always funny. And that's one of those things that's kind of only funny if you are like a big Disney freak, where like you know what these things are. But it was funny to us, so I'm including it because I think it's funny. Another one that was kind of timely, and that's why it was funny, was because of the time that it took place, was the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom game had just kind of become a thing when I was on my college program. So another skipper, Skipper Adam, he would pull up and he would say, he would always give recommendations for like, oh, if you haven't checked this out, you should go check it out. And one of the things that he would recommend, he was giving those recommendations seriously. He'd be like, oh, you know, go next door and check out Pirates of the Caribbean. But then he would also say, and if you're looking for something besides an attraction to do, why don't you check out the new Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom game, which is great for the person who thought the only thing missing from Pokemon was Jafar. That's kind of what Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom is. It's like a card game like Pokemon, and you kind of go around the park and cast your spells and use your magic, and there's some cards that are better than others, and it's like Pokemon except for Disney characters. The best unload spiel is to my friend Skipper Michael. Skipper Michael is the one that, if you have not seen it yet, I'll link it up there. He's the one who had the boat full of gentlemen from the Norwegian Pavilion sniff me because I wear the perfume from the Norwegian Pavilion. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll link that up there. It's my creepy guest interactions, and that's one of them. So yeah, Skipper Michael, he was one of my best friends. He's like a brother. And because he was like a brother, he liked to mess around with me and play jokes. So he, as part of his unload spiel, would say, those of you on this side of the boat, could you please exit out the front door? Those of you on the back side, don't cross over the stuff in the middle, just go out the back with Meaghan, because I was back unload, so I'm standing back there like this, ready to help everyone off the boat. And people in always will still try to cross over the crates in the middle of the boat, even though we tell them not to. You're gonna hit your head on stuff. People still always do it. So he was like, you know, please go out the back. And people still try to cross over. And he's like, no, guys, what are you doing? Stop, please. Go out the back with Meaghan. Go out with Meaghan. Someone, please, go out with Meaghan. She's really nice. She loves long walks on the beach, German Shepherd puppies, and cats. She loves cats. She loves all kinds of cats. And she just wants to hug all of them. But you can't, Meaghan. You can't hug every cat. And if you haven't seen that YouTube video, that was a thing. That it was like a mimicking an eHarmony video or something. And it got auto-tuned, and it was a big thing for a little while. If you haven't seen it yet, go find the I Love Cats video. And that unfortunately is true. I do love cats, and I do want to hug all of them and put them in a little basket, and everything that lady says is true for me. But he didn't know that at the time. So we just let it be funny. So he, you know, please go out with Meaghan, and I love all those things. And that kind of became a running thing that he would do, and other skippers eventually joined in. When I was there back unload, I'm standing there looking sad because no one will go out with me. Everyone's crossing over the crates, and they would adapt, and they would tell them all kinds of things that I enjoyed. One of my favorites was I love to mow the lawn in a bathrobe and bunny slippers. That was a contribution from my dear friend Jeremiah. He decided that I had sparkly fuchsia bunny slippers and a long nightgown that I would mow my lawn in. I don't know when that happened or where I got those things, but apparently that's one of the things that I do, and that was apparently supposed to make me attractive to someone and make them want to go out with me. That didn't work. So those are just a few of the funny unload things that are not part of the script, and you know, those are not things that everyone's gonna say. Those are just some of the ones that I encountered while I was working there. My friends would say. I did not do anything funny for my unload. I, like I've mentioned before, stayed with the script, with the very minute exception of the fire hazard joke where people crossing over the crates and you tell them not to cross over the middle because it's a fire hazard, because they'll trip, they'll fall, I'll laugh and I'll get fired, and that's not a good idea for anyone. So that was one of my only unload spiel jokes that was not specifically in the script, but other than that, I stayed with the script. So you think that the Jungle Cruise is all about while you're out there seeing the animals and stuff, but make sure that you're paying attention when you come back into the dock, because those are some of my favorite things that the skippers are going to say. And if you work at the Jungle Cruise, make sure that you are listening to your fellow skippers, because they're kind of doing that for you. It's more or less to entertain the skippers on the dock, so you never know what someone's going to come up with, and it's just another one of those fun things to listen for when you are at Disney. So yeah. Let me know if you have heard any skippers give like funny unload spiels, or just like funny skipper jokes that you've heard in general. What are your favorites? I always love a good pun. So let me know those down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.